Kick it.
Kick it.
I feel like
Maybe not.
I feel like you only kick it when you want to kick it,
All right.
not when the rest of us want to kick it. All right, welcome to another episode of Hardheaded. I'm your host, Matt Amos. With me, as always, Chim and M and Troy Trussell. Chet's got his hood up. I don't know why.
That's awesome.
I'm being like a new, what is Gen Z?
We're trying to reach the younger crowd with sweatshirts and earphones over the hoodie hood.
Is that how they do it? That's how they do it, isn't it?
I don't know, dude.
They have pods, so no. They don't wear the over-the-ear headphones.
You went from boomer to...
Yeah.
Boomer to Zoomer, real quick.
yeah, real quick.
Zoom.
Today we're going to talk about...
All I want to do is zoom.
Now you went back old school. The kids don't even know that. But anyway, today we're going to talk about what we're thankful for coming up. Today's Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We're going to follow that up with our top 3 hotels that we've stayed at, and then Troy's going to lead us out with a good word. So, gentlemen, obviously we're not recording this on Thanksgiving, taking away from our family. We're recording this prior to. What are your plans? Anything special going on?
I don't even know.
We haven't even made plans.
I think we're doing it at our house.
I hope so.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. I know this. I will be assigned to make probably deviled eggs,
And you know why we do that?
and I'll make them
Do you know why we do that?
because nobody else likes to make them
No, because you eat most of them.
while I'm making them. And
No.
and so then everybody gets some
Yeah.
when I
If you show up and they're deviled eggs, like you'll wipe out half the whole tray. But if you bring deviled eggs, it's like there's enough for everybody.
Well, that's true because
Yeah.
I'll probably eat a dozen.
There you go, man.
No.
That's how you do it.
I get it. I like it.
And I usually make a bowl of sweet potato casserole.
I'm out.
Yeah. You don't like sweet potatoes?
I do not.
Dude, I hated sweet potatoes as a kid.
Still do.
I hated them. We had a deal that
Love them, bro.
you couldn't
A lot
leave.
of people do. I don't know why. I just don't.
I
like
add
it.
cinnamon and sugar and whipped cream or
Yeah, you
heavy
don't like
cream
sweet potatoes. You
and
like brown sugar.
butter and
We had a clean your plate rule in my house growing up, and this is back when we lived on base. So this is like 3rd grade, 2nd grade, and Mom served sweet potatoes one time. I was like, I'm not eating that, and she's like, well, you're not leaving the table. I'm like, well, I'm not eating it, and my sister and I were left there. I hope she remembers this, but we were both. She's like, I'm not eating that either. This is nasty. And so my parents went on, did their thing after dinner and watching TV, whatever. And we're just sitting there, and and I was like, well, give me your potato, so at least one of us is out of prison. And so she put, I had both sweet potatoes on, and they weren't big, but both sweet potatoes on my plate, and she went on. And then it got to the point, it gets worse because they get cold, right? And sure enough, I ended up pouring my drink in it to make it better. I don't know. And then I had to eat like a Coke-soaked sweet potato. It was a disaster. Needless to say, my mom never cooked sweet potatoes again. So I think I won the war. I lost that battle, but I won the war.
Yeah, I don't think I could do it. I mean, I suppose if I had to,
If it's a casserole, like have you tried it?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
with the sugar and the
I
marshmallows.
try I don't ever give a judgment based on something I haven't tried.
Okay.
And I've had tons of them because
Yeah.
I'll dip. You got to try, because everybody has the best.
Oh, I'll give it a shot.
I'll give it a shot.
Nope. Okay. I respect that.
Because I like food. I mean, I like to eat, and I like good food. And so I'm open to try whatever. It just it's one of those things that just is a flavor that I don't. It's not a consistency thing, but it's just a flavor in that sweet potato that I just don't.
Oh yeah, I was there.
Don't care for.
Yep.
But I think we sent out the invite not too long ago. Let the whole family know, hey, here's what time it's going to start. Thanksgiving's a little bit easier because the bird really doesn't take that long.
Yeah.
I don't like the name of the company. and I don't like the names of their seasonings, but it's called Meat Church.
Yeah.
And I bought some of their brine.
Yeah.
So I'm going to brine the bird this year because I normally don't do that. I buy a pre-brined bird.
Have you bought it yet?
What?
The brine?
bird? The brine? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to send you in a different direction.
Like what?
The brine that I use. It's called turkey bath. It's good. And then my seasoning.
I think it's the same thing.
Then my seasoning is fin and feather.
Fin and from
Plowboys. Fin and feather. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
I got some of that. I use 1 year I used ground pounder. I mean, so I'm excited to smoke this bird this year. I might even spatchcock it. I don't know.
That's how I do it all the time.
I don't see that much difference in the flavor or
The cook time is a lot shorter.
But it not
Hour
by,
and a half.
Not by much then. So by an hour.
Yeah,
You know.
like by half, 50% reduction.
Yeah, but when I'm going to smoke things, I don't.
And it's all juicy, man.
I like
It's
to take
all juicy.
Well, I think that's from the brine. So you know.
Not just that, it's all done at the same time. You're not overcooking the legs and the wings.
The wings always come out juicy.
I'm just telling you, I'm a fan of the spatchcock.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot this year. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, good.
And since my family isn't a family of weenies, I'm gonna have some smoke rings.
Oh, we're having smoke rings too.
What are you putting them in?
I don't know. Whatever. Turkey. I may stuff my turkey full of smoke rings.
Weenie. Now, did you see that recipe that I sent you
Which one? About what?
with the noodles, the Parmesan, and then with the sausage?
No.
I sent you a recipe because
How long ago? Weeks ago?
Yeah, a few weeks ago.
I probably looked at it and ignored it. I don't remember it.
You may
I think
have.
I remember you sending me something, and I was like, I'll get to that later, and later hasn't happened yet.
And you haven't done it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, because you were talking about having to mix that sausage because it was a little spicy, this was like a Parmesan buttered noodle with buttered sausage. And
Okay.
My family was 50-50 on it. They were like, the noodles are really rich.
Mm.
And I was like,
You use cream. You use heavy cream with the Parmesan.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And they go, well, yeah, but because they're just used to eating the sausage alone. So they're like, it was really weird for us to put it with something.
Let me tell you what to do. I learned this from Italy. Instead of using like the Americans use heavy cream,
Mm-hmm.
in Italy they use pasta water, like the water you cook your pasta in,
Oh yeah.
and that's what they mix with the cheese to make their cream sauce.
Nice.
Yeah,
That'd be a little lighter. That'd
it's
be
salty. You know, the water's salty, and then
Well, hopefully it's salty.
well, it should be like
Well, you should salt your boiling water.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Yep.
Just for those that don't do that, you should salt your water.
And speaking of too, we talked last week about tailgating foods. I found another one, and it's do you guys like shepherd's pie?
Oh yeah, I do.
Yeah,
The potato with the
yeah, with the peas
yes,
and the meat.
shepherd's pie stew.
What?
It's like a soup. Super good. Like it's got.
Do you put corn? You use cornbread, or
you mean
shepherd's
like
pie.
as a side?
Has
Yeah.
mashed potatoes in it, doesn't it?
well, yeah, but shepherd's pie has like that layer of crust on top, right?
No, it's potatoes
That's
on
the
top.
potatoes that have browned due to the oven.
Oh, I'm just thinking of. I must be thinking of chicken pot pie or something.
That's chicken
Yeah.
pie. Yeah, probably
okay.
chicken pot pie.
Which
Yeah.
is basically a stew with bread on top.
Right.
Yes. So this is different.
Yeah.
So instead of mashed potatoes, you just cut potatoes and you put it in the stew. But the flavor that because you use a little bit of cream.
Use ground beef.
Yep. And it came out really good. I like
What's your potato?
just Yukon potatoes that you cube.
Okay.
Then they stay cubed and they just.
So basically, you just have a stew. But you shouldn't call it shepherd's pie stew.
It's
just
so
stew.
It's ground beef because in a normal stew you have like
it
beef
depends.
chunks.
Well, I use ground beef in beef stew, but it's the cream.
That's a chili.
That's not a chili. Huh? No, that's not a chili.
Look, the older I get, the more I get confused about stews, chilies, and soups.
This is a stew.
What's the difference between a stew and a soup?
So I believe in a soup, like in a stew, you would mix flour to thicken up the broth.
In a soup? Stew.
In a stew,
The stew has flour.
or a thickening agent.
I've never
Google that.
Well, I've never put any kind of flour in a stew ever.
What is a stew?
Then you're not making stew. You're making
Look,
soup.
ask Chat GPT, what's the difference between a stew, a soup, and a chili?
All right, continue.
I actually looked up the chili today, just because I was going to argue with you a little bit, but because what you sent with the chicken is not chili. That is not chili.
This is chili. I agree.
They say it
I
is.
agree, but people call that chili.
But according to the international chili competition, that is chili.
And no, it's not.
According to their rules,
What is their rules? What rule do they have that says anything in a crock pot is chili?
the ICS Homestyle Chili Competition defines chili as any kind of meat or combination of meats and or vegetables cooked with beans, chili peppers, various spices, and other ingredients. And
That could be a taco.
that's straight out of
Couldn't it? So read the ingredients again.
any kind of meat,
Meat.
any kind of combination of meats
Yes.
or vegetables
Yes.
cooked with beans,
Cook- you
chili
could put
peppers.
beans in your little steak with your
Here
steak
it is.
strips.
Look, in essence, the soup is light and brothy. A stew is hearty and chunky. And a chili is bold and spicy, often bean or meat focused. And it does say stew ingredients feature larger chunks of meat, vegetables, or broth. The liquid is usually a rich stock or gravy. And to make gravy, you do have to add flour.
Yeah.
So if you're actually making a gravy and then putting it in the stew, or
What did it say? A chili just as spicy?
It's basically meat and spice.
in essence, it's it's bolder and spicier. But it says thick like a stew, but with its own distinct character, often less brothy and more robust. Typically made with chili peppers, beans, tomatoes, and meat, seasoned heavily with spices like cumin, chili powder, and paprika.
None of that's in here.
I see beans.
No, paprika, chili powder.
Chili cooking method, slow cook to allow flavors to deepen. The focus is bold, spicy flavors and a rich, concentrated base.
So basically, if you have beans in it, it's a chili. But what about bean soup? Is bean soup a chili?
I would say bean soup.
I would say
If
ham,
it's spicy,
I would say ham and beans is a
Chili.
Is a chili.
yeah. If we're going all the way.
You got to go all in.
Tacos are chili.
Tacos.
If they have beans,
Taco's a taco.
no,
If it's in a
tacos
bowl-
chili if it has beans. Read that again. It's bean. Read yours. No,
Well,
yours
this
is the one that says
in-
tacos.
Yeah, this says beans in some regions is a chili.
Read the ingredients on the chili competition. It doesn't even say anything about liquid.
No, it doesn't.
It says beans, meat.
Well, see, in this ingredient, soup can be a wide variety of ingredients can be used, including vegetables, meats, grains, and beans.
However, chili, when it comes down to nutrition facts, is measured in cups. I don't know that you can measure a taco in cups.
Yes, you can.
If it's a taco salad,
Huh? No, you just cram whatever you've got into a cup and see how many times you can do it.
then it's a taco salad at that point. I don't know why he's not getting this, Troy. I don't.
So then you got pho.
That's a soup.
I don't know, pho's pho.
It's a
soup.
Isn't that the Vietnamese name for soup?
It's probably his. Just to mess with this is probably the name for stew.
I bet it is.
Oh man, but pho's pho.
A soup. Definition is a soup of Vietnamese origin.
It's traditionally a Vietnamese soup known for its flavorful
Noodle soup.
aromatic broth.
Yeah, I mean it's a soup.
I'm telling you, this is starting to confuse the heck out of me. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Chili.
like it.
All I know is that a stew is, like I said, I had a little bit of flour, and the shepherd's pie actually called for heavy cream,
Yeah.
and it had like a really nice shepherd's pie flavor.
Right. I don't think you're in my world. You should not be able to use like pie as a descriptor of a soup.
Shepherd's pie soup.
Yeah, you can't do that.
So I think what happened was somebody made some shepherd's pie and it didn't thicken up, and they're like,
Yeah, put it in a bowl.
Call it a soup. I think that's probably what happened. To be
Good
honest
for them.
with you.
Good for them. Well, so hard-headed listeners, you hardheads out there, just know that the stance that I have is that chicken chili is not chili.
It's a stew.
I agree.
Let's call it a stew.
I'm with you, right there.
Chicken stew.
That's chicken stew.
Yeah.
And if I come across somebody calling it chicken chili, I'm just saying, yeah, it's a stew.
White chicken stew.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or they call it, they come around and somebody says white chili.
I dislike
What if it has beans in it?
so much that people call that white chicken chili. I won't eat it because people think they're calling it chili. I'm like, yeah, I'm just not going to have any.
Because I'm anticipating chili.
It probably tastes really good. I'm just not going to do it.
I normally don't like it, but we had somebody bring it over for Halloween,
Yeah.
and it was really good.
Yeah. That's a good stew.
It was a good stew.
Yeah.
It really was.
You should tell them that. It's a good stew.
That's a good stew. You don't win the contest because it was a chili contest.
And you brought
That was a
stew.
very good stew.
Right.
Yeah. Here's a popsicle, by the way. I'll enter that next year. Okay. Well, what are you thankful for, Matt?
What am I thankful for? There is so much that happened this last year. I am thankful that my oldest daughter is still with us after a car accident.
Potentially bad
very
car
bad car accident, and very thankful for that. And families, just my immediate family, my mom, my dad, everybody's done really well this year. I think this is one of the first years we haven't had any major medical issues other than taking my daughter to the ER. So it's been kind of a good year. And in the end, I mean, that's really, really what it comes down to is your health and family. And, so it's been really good on those aspects. Am thankful as well for the story, Make Peace or Die.
Dude, excited about it. I'm halfway through it.
Halfway.
Yeah.
And that those stories are finally being told. And it's been 3 years in the making, but this was the year that got it all done.
So, and just pause for station identification. What we're talking about is the movie that Anthony Marquez's journey on honoring the 17 Marines from the 1-5 division that were serving in Afghanistan that were KIA.
Yep.
And the documentary, he came on talking about filming it over 2 years ago, starting the filming of it. Mm-hmm. So the film's complete. PBS Independent Lens picked it up and distributed it. And you can go online right now to pbs.org or whatever that is.
Or Independent Lens on YouTube.
Oh, okay. It's on YouTube. Yep. I was watching it straight through the PBS website. Yep. So PBS Independent Lens. We'll put a link in the show notes. And I know we don't normally do that, but we'll do that for this. It was in the clip, man. But I think the thing that gets to me the most right now, and I'm halfway through it, is Manny, which is Anthony's brother, happened to be home videoing Anthony as a high school student, and Anthony's talking about wanting to join the Marine Corps, and Manny asks him, "Yeah, man, what about the wars?" And Anthony's response was, "Well, if they send me, they send me. Like, I'm still going to be a Marine." And dude, that just hits home that we had so many young men knowing that they were going to go into a combat theater that still volunteered to serve. And it's just powerful to me. And this story, this documentary is about 17 of those young men that volunteered to serve in the U.S. Marine Corps that lost their lives, and the families and how it impacted them, and then how one of their fellow Marines chose to honor him. So yeah, it'll get you worth your time.
Very worth
It's
your time.
Very much so. Anyway, okay, you just a couple weeks ago you were in Virginia, right? At the
So at the National Museum of the Marine Corps, and we did a viewing of the film in the Medal of Honor Theater, which was Anthony's goal when we delivered the uniform. Back in March, I believe it was March. That was the goal, to have a viewing in the theater.
Each the 17 families of the 17 lost Marines each donated a portion of their Marines' dress uniform, mm-hmm. and Matt and Anthony built the uniform off of those pieces, and then the National Marine Corps Museum has that on display with something about all the guys.
Yeah, you saw that picture, didn't you?
Yeah.
So it's a pretty large display.
Yeah.
And while we were there, we actually found out that they're most likely going to turn that into a permanent display, but they're going to move it from the upstairs, the mezzanine, down to the OIF wing that they just opened up. So pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so it's been phenomenal in that regard. So I'm thankful that their stories are getting out and people are learning about just the true cost of war.
Side note, on a good note, Anthony's dad.
Yeah, he had his baby on Monday.
Last week.
November, no, what was that? November
18th. Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Anthony.
so it's kind of funny. Just off the not about Thanksgiving, but so we showed up and I drove down to Tulsa because we were going to all fly out together, and it was cheaper to fly from Tulsa direct to DC than it was to fly out here. So drove down, and then I get there, and Anthony's like, well, I'm finishing up, and I got to throw a few more things in my bag, and of course he's packed for the whole trip in a duffel about 2 feet by 2 feet. And here I am with, check bag and just different when you're an amputee, I guess. But showed up and he's like, yeah, Libby, his wife, she's not real happy with me right now. And I was like, why is that? And he goes, well, they're talking about, having a C-section on that Wednesday. And he's like, so she really wants me to be home. And then she had an appointment today and blah, 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 and this and this. And so he's like, so I wrote her a card, and he goes, here's the card, and it says to Libby and baby. And he goes, and then right below it, he left a Snickers. And he goes, hey, sorry, I'm going to be gone. I'll see you guys when I get back. Here's the Snickers.
Oh my gosh. That's not helpful.
I was like, that's a bold move.
Yeah.
And so we're on the plane, and we're just landing, and he pulls it up, and she'd sent him a message, and she was like, oh, that's so sweet, whatever. And I was like, I don't know that she got the meaning behind that.
Yeah.
You're not you when you're hungry.
Right.
And,
right.
But so he did that. And then this was Friday, just after the premiere. Like, she's like, hey, I'm having contractions. I don't know that I'm going to make it.
Yeah. To the scheduled C-section time.
I don't know that I'm going to make it to Monday, so I need you to book a flight out of here tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And his response, new phone, who dis? But yeah, so anyway, it was pretty funny. He's super happy, and she's got 2 twin boys, and they were just super excited to have a new little brother. So good things all around. It's been a good year.
Troy, how about you, man?
Man, what am I thankful for? Thankful that I got some healthy kids. Thankful that I got help at home with them. And I'm thankful to live in a country where I can have my own business and be able to spend time with my family. I mean, that's really important to me. I've been in other jobs before, and it just time sucked everything. And over the past almost 10 years now. Been able to.
Yeah, I was about to say it's about 10 years, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll be 10 years in May.
Yeah.
That I've owned my own business, and
You ought to have a big open house with a lot of food. I'll come.
oh, okay, I'll
Yeah.
do that for you.
Maybe make some chili.
Yes.
Yeah, or maybe he'll get that kettle. He can make jambalaya for it.
Yeah.
That'd be.
See how he's turning it around to your cooking
I see
now?
that. I didn't say I'd do it for free. I'm expensive.
I'll do it for the
catering
price
business
of the kettle.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, no, but that's just. Yeah, that's what I'm thankful for.
Well, good deal, man. It's been a good year for the Sears household too. Just a lot out there. I'm really thankful for. So the church I go to, Metro, we'll be moving soon, and that whole process it's difficult when you're getting out of an old church building and getting rid of a whole bunch of stuff, and then through the grace of God, the way everything's worked out, we're buying our property, have bought our property. The church has got a roof on it now. The slabs poured, the walls are up, and everything's coming together. And there's been some decisions we've had to make that I've been a part of that are really exciting, and really looking forward to what God's going to do there. And I'll tell you another one that's pretty cool. I don't know how I could say this and not name names. My dog. So we bumped into a young couple at visiting our church, and just a couple of weeks ago, and we knew them. My wife did, because the girl part of the couple had come across, knew my daughter. It was like one of her dance instructors or something, theater, something along the lines. And while they were talking, after church, hey, how you doing? And she said, one of the reasons we wanted to visit your church is because your daughter posts so much scripture, and the things that she says on social media is so founded in the Word. We knew that this is the church that she went to before she went off to college, and we wanted to go to church where the Bible's taught. And we talk about a proud parent moment. Number one, that your daughter is a Jesus follower. Number two, that the way that she conducts herself in person and online points people to Jesus, and they don't praise her for it. They're just like, she is founded in the Bible. Like, her foundation is in the Bible. And I thought that was really cool. And I feel that way about all my kids. And it's just so rare as a parent to have that feedback. And so I was really grateful for that. I thought that was a pretty cool scenario.
Yeah, that's good.
Of all the bad that social media brings, it also can bring some good. So I'm thankful I don't have to have surgery on my knee. Did I tell you guys that?
Well, you walked in here a little too easily, so
I'm walking fine now. I'm still not good with stairs, but no surgery. The terminology. I was in a taxi cab in Guadalajara when she told me this, so I was not getting everything. But she's like, if we go in there to try to fix what damage you did, we can make it worse. There's like a 50-50 chance that we make it better or make it worse. It will not stay the same. The path that I'm on of healing is one that will get me back where I could possibly behave in a way that nothing ever happened. But it'll be a little while before that comes. So stoked about that.
6-12 weeks.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe a little bit sooner. It's been 3.
Yep.
So we'll see.
So 3
more weeks, maybe
3 to 8 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I could, get in a duck blind. I could crawl up the ladder into my deer stand. That's really the important things right now.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you were going to let that little knee stop you, I mean,
look, I would have hunted out of my truck if I had to.
you might have had to, and I would have loved to go with you to the.
I got my golf cart running. I don't have to hunt out of the truck. You can hunt out of the golf cart.
You still have to have a permit for that.
Not if you're on private land.
You sure do.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
I don't believe it. I don't believe you one bit. Not even on a road. Just in a field. You can't hunt from a golf cart in a field on your own property.
You can't hunt from a vehicle.
A moving vehicle.
No.
Huh?
Yeah. Well, as I read the law, basically, because I have the permit.
Matt, how many warnings have I gotten since you've known me from the game warden?
I don't know, but I pushed the limits.
It's more
is
than
what I'm
you've gotten more than me. I know that. All right,
And I know, and I try to obey the law.
Okay,
Is the thing.
You
know.
try.
I try. I don't. It doesn't
I
always
try
happen.
to know the law.
It doesn't
and
always
obey
happen.
the law. Top 3. What is the top 3 today?
Top 3
Hotels we've stayed
hotels you have stayed in.
Did I say that in the beginning?
I don't remember.
I don't know if you did.
I don't know if I said that.
I'll go first. How about that?
Why don't you go, Troy?
Do it. Do it.
Do
it.
I always enjoy staying at a
Motel 6.
Comfort Inn.
Ooh.
Okay.
Not really. I don't know. I don't do a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
like you guys do. So, but I do. My number two and number 1 are a little better.
The Comfort Inn. I've stayed in a few of those.
I've stayed in a few.
Comfort Inn. That's the last
It
place.
doesn't make my top 10.
No. Well, and that's probably because of the quantity of hotels you've been in. I know what your number 1 is.
What is my number 1?
We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Yeah. So Comfort Inn. It's spacious. It's good.
Every one I've been in is the same as all the other ones I've been in.
Yeah, and they've been clean.
The predictability factor of a hotel is important to me.
Yeah, I agree with that. Breakfast sucks, but
Yeah.
hey, whatever. Number 2, the Chateau Avalon Hotel Spa and Denial Lounge. Stayed there back in February.
Where is that?
In Kansas City by the casino.
Okay. I didn't know Kansas City had a casino.
It does.
Missouri.
Is it in the river?
Yep.
No.
It's on the river.
What?
Isn't it?
No. I don't think so.
Okay.
It's on Village West Parkway in Kansas City.
Well, it's going to have an address that's not like Riverboat number 2.
Mile 1532.
It's not a riverboat, though.
Next to the pine tree log.
It's the Hollywood Casino.
Okay. I didn't know. I just didn't know. I'm not that familiar
Yeah.
with Kansas City.
Anyway, yeah, I stayed there. It's more of a hotel. It's an okay hotel. It's more of a like couples getaway
Yeah.
type thing. But it was right there by the casino, and I went and played cards for a couple of days just to take a break and get away from everything, and had some fun and stayed there because it was right there.
Cool.
Was it by the Speedway?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's in Kansas.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Kansas side.
Okay.
Yeah. And then number 1, I don't know the name of the hotel.
Well,
But
it's
it was
hard to make it onto your list.
in East Luma Harris. It's where we went on our honeymoon,
Yeah.
and was a very nice little hotel that we stayed at, and it had a hot tub on the top floor that overlooked the ocean and the pools and everything, and yeah, fantastic.
So one of those big resorts.
One of the big resorts. You
Yeah.
fly into Cancun, then they take you take a taxi or whatever to the resort. You think you're going to get, stopped by the cartel and murdered on the way there. But yeah.
Yeah, I was just in cartel territory
Yeah.
a couple of weeks ago.
Imagine that.
A little scary getting to the resort, but once you get there, it's fine.
I needed to go somewhere, and I was like, I'll get a Uber. They have Uber, and they were like, don't do that. We will arrange for private travel for you. You don't get an Uber. I'm like, oh, okay.
That
I won't get an Uber.
is how you get raped.
In an Uber?
I assume.
By the cartel?
Yeah.
That's more like how you get your head chopped off, right?
Uh-huh.
But it starts with a raping. I'm positive.
The Grand Palladium, Secrets Playa Mujeres,
Oh, that sounds.
Dreams Playa Mujeres,
I don't know. It's been 15 years since
Where'd you
I've
go
been
on your
there.
honeymoon?
Mia Reef Isla Mujeres,
Isla Mujeres is the island.
Zoetry Villa Rolandi,
I don't know.
Isla Mujeres,
They could have renamed it by now. It's 15 years ago.
Catalania. I bet it was probably like Secrets or Dreams.
Probably.
Golf and Spa Resort.
Anyway, that's my top 3.
All right.
So you stayed at some places.
Yeah. I'll go. Can I go?
15 years ago was my number 1. Yeah.
Can I go?
Mine may be longer ago than that.
Mine is, and it's closed. My number 3, the Holodome in Monroe, Louisiana.
The Holodome.
So when I was a kid growing up in the country, Matt, my grandmother, she was a widow at the time. My grandfather already passed. She'd come down once a year from Ohio and stay with us for a little while and then take us on a mini vacation by us, my mom and my sister and myself. And we'd drive up to Monroe, which was 2 hours away. And we'd stay at the Holodome, which had an indoor pool and like a ping pong table in the open, like the enclosed area, but like in between all the rooms and whatnot. And then we would go to the Critters Creek water park. And we did that for like 3 years in a row.
Critters Creek.
And that was just the coolest thing to me, to be at the Holodome in an indoor pool. That was the first indoor pool I think I'd ever seen. It was something else. A little bit of a shift here. Number 2, the Waldorf Astoria, Rome Cavalieri. Very nice hotel. Had works of art in the lobby, that like museum quality type stuff. It was phenomenal. The rooms were very nice. They had the turn down service with the chocolate on the pillow and fresh fruit brought into your room and put in the little bowl in the little living seating area. Yeah, just great. Nice, very nice hotel. Number 1, this goes back to 2012. I was on a trip in Asia, spent a lot of time in China, and I was in a different hotel room every night, and it was a brutal 2 weeks because we were doing these supplier visits, and we'd show up at a supplier in the morning and meet with them all morning, tour the factory, meet, have lunch with them, and then we get in a car and drive 4 hours to the next site, have dinner with the people we're visiting the next day, and then go to the hotel, check in, wake up, check out, go to their site, visit them all day or all morning, have lunch with them, get in a car, drive another 4 hours, get into another big dinner, then get into another hotel. I walked into one of these hotels, and it was the Intercontinental, and I believe it was in Guangzhou. And you walk in, and it's just massive. And it kind of reminds you, how the Embassy Suites is just hollow in the middle and has the rooms all around it was like that, but it was shaped like a sail. And the whole elevator in the middle was in a core of a wine room. So like you were going up like 6 stories of a wine display. I got to my room, and again, it's like 11 o'clock at night, and I'm literally meeting people for breakfast at 7 in the morning. So it's not like I vacationed here or anything. I walk in. On the first floor of my room is a bathroom, a living area, and a kitchen. And then the window goes up 2 floors, and there's some stairs that go up, and the bedroom is a loft over that room. And so you had a bedroom and like this bathroom that was ridiculous, with a shower area, a bathtub area. There was a hot tub somewhere else unbelievable, and a view over like this city skylight thing. And I literally turned my camera on and took a video and text Ashley, hey, I'm going to bed, and sent that, went to sleep, woke up, went down, ate breakfast, and left. Like, it was just, I just took a video of it, but it was the coolest hotel room that I could even imagine. And 2 stories, and I was like, hey, what a waste. Like, literally, I just need a bed, but I'm here in this fancy thing.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, well, I don't even know where that video is now, but there we go.
And what city was that?
Like Guangzhou is down south in the Pearl River Delta. There's only like 18 million people that live in that town.
Only?
Yeah.
Small town.
Man.
Just like we're in that town in Louisiana
That I grew up in. Wasn't even on the map.
Because it was in Oklahoma. Anyway.
I'm guessing. Can I guess one of yours? I don't know where it's going to be on the list.
Okay.
yours is going to be a Holiday Inn Express located near Domino's Pizza. It's somewhere on your list.
I'm not going to say that's my favorite, but that's a requirement almost if I'm going to stay anywhere.
Is Holiday Inn Express on your top 3?
It is not.
Oh, okay.
That's an honorable mention.
If you travel with Matt on the road, I don't care where we stop as long as it's at a Holiday Inn Express near Domino's. Like that's what he says. That's it, and that's what we did.
So if we're just traveling to have a good time, that's that's it.
Yeah.
It's got to be a Holiday Inn Express for the same reason that it is cookie cutter. I know what to expect when I go. And for me, when I get a handicap accessible room with a roll-in shower, I have to know that I'm going to be able to actually not just roll in, but have a seat, because you don't just shower in your wheelchair.
Yeah.
So you've got to have a seat to transfer to sit on to shower. So that's very important, and Holiday Inn Express across the board
Got it nailed.
has got it down, as does Hampton.
Yeah, because the time we went and pitched Cabela's, we stayed in Hampton.
Yep. So anyway, number 3 is going to be the Inn at Dromoland in Shannon, Ireland. And it's right next door to a castle. Now, little did I know that the castle itself
Is a hotel?
is actually also now a hotel. But it is beautiful. And so the reason the food sucks. I will say that, but I believe that most Irish food sucks.
What's it called?
The Inn at Dromoland, Dromoland. So you can look for the Dromoland Castle. But we obviously got stuck there because our plane was having issues as we were heading into Kuwait/Iraq, and so we ended up spending, I think it was 2 nights there. And it was awesome. Of course, I had all my buddies, and so there wasn't much to do. We made the news that night in Ireland.
Okay.
The bunch of Marines were at this hotel, blah, 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 and because it was a neutral country. And so now that they're hosting Marines, it was all political. Is this a problem? Blah, blah, blah. So that was kind of fun, but if you tell a Marine that it's okay to smoke in a smoking hotel, that floor,
it was bad.
it was a Snoop Dogg video. I'm not even joking. Like, it was just a haze, but up all night playing cards. And then the food, like I said, they brought us in the dining room. It was very formal.
Yeah.
They served the food, but it wasn't good
Yeah.
at all. So that was number 3. Number 2, the Ritz-Carlton in Laguna Niguel. I've never, as far as fancy hotels go, I've never been in anything
Fancier. It's
like that ever. It was on a complete.
The service there is something else too. The way they take care of you.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And so I've been to a wedding at that hotel, and then I've been to a scholarship dinner at that hotel, and both times, I mean, just the services, stuff you would normally pay for somewhere else. It's everything there is just taken care of for you. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Of course, if you're spending $700-800 a night,
Yep.
Whatever.
Is your number 1 in California?
No.
Okay.
My number 1 is in Kansas City.
Okay.
And it's the Inn at Meadowbrook. And it's they call it a boutique hotel.
Yeah.
But my wife and I had our anniversary at the same time that Clara had a soccer tournament. And so I was like, well, let's just do something nice. And so I got their biggest suite.
Yeah, I remember you talking about this.
The top suite that they had. And it ended up being 2 rooms that adjoined and a balcony that went halfway around the building and this room had 4 bedrooms, two bathrooms, a foyer. It was really, really nice. The beds are really comfortable. And then you want to talk about service. The service at this place was incredible. Of course, it was our anniversary, and so when we showed up, they actually had a little keychain or like a key with a little leather tag on it that had the anniversary date on it, and then like a bottle of champagne in the room as well when we showed up. So really, really nice. And then that Sunday, the Porsche Club or the Ferrari Club had like all their Ferraris out front.
Okay.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
then I parked my truck right in the middle of it.
Yes.
They tried to take up the handicap spot.
Not doing it.
And they had this guy out there washing their cars. Like some dude like had a contract to come up and wash all their cars. And so I parked at the handicap spot and I angled it like all the other cars were. And I was like, hey, when you're done with those, you mind hitting this one? And then walked in.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny. But extremely nice hotel. If you do stay there, don't set your drinks on the furniture because they will stain. And then they called me and they were like, hey, did you know this stained the whatever? And I was like, okay, I don't see how that's my problem, but let me go ahead and fix that for you because I used to work in furniture.
Yeah.
So I gave them a link to what they needed to buy to get those water spots off. And then they texted me back and she's like, yeah, that worked the first time. I was like, I know.
Yeah. You're welcome.
It's not a big deal. Because I guess the moisture when I made the coffee, moisture from the cup, whatever. But extremely nice hotel. The restaurant, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Everything in there is just really well done.
Yeah, I calculated the rough math. I've been in a hotel 55 nights so far this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Too bad I can't be the same one and just rack up points.
Well, most of those are I'm a Hilton
same
guy. Yeah, most of them, not all of them. But yeah, it depends though, because in Europe the air conditioning sucks. So you really get 9 chances out of 10 you're going to be in a place you don't want to be in all the time.
And you're not sleeping well if it's not cold.
You got that right. I was there 3 weeks ago, and I slept with the window open because it was so hot in the room, and they don't have air conditioning; they just have heating. And man, it was foggy outside, and I got some kind of crap in my throat. It was horrible. Lost my voice. Yeah, I sent the video in. You guys know that.
Yeah, that was the election.
Yep.
You called it in.
Yep.
Phoned it in, but you were here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny with the whatever Troy did with AI.
The 3 different pictures.
That was not AI. That was me.
Okay.
I did that.
That was
I.
TT.
Yeah.
That was just I.
Yeah.
That's funny. Who's got the good word?
I do. Good word is with.
Okay. Will last week, with this week.
With, as in God is with you.
Yeah.
So I've been reading through the story of Joseph with my oldest son, and we just got through it last week. And his story is pretty crazy. You know, he starts out, has a dream, tells his family, his brothers get ticked off. They decide that they just want to kill him. But then one of his brothers is like, let's not kill him. Let's sell him to these passersby, you know. So they end up, they threw him in a pit to decide what they were going to do with him first. And so then they sell him, and he gets into Pharaoh's house, and he becomes like really big in under Pharaoh. But then his Pharaoh's wife Potiphar. Sorry, I'm getting them mixed up. So Potiphar, he starts working for him, and then Potiphar's wife tries to seduce him. He runs off. Then he gets thrown in prison, ends up interpreting dreams there. And then Pharaoh finds out, finally, through a bunch of different circumstances, who actually can tell these dreams. He does the dream for Pharaoh, and Pharaoh puts him in the highest ranking official, basically under Pharaoh, to run the Egypt, basically. And but through all this, through everything that he went through, God was always with him, if you look back through his story. And it felt like trial and tribulation at every turn, but God was always with him, and God was always faithful to him. And in the end, he gets to, his family comes back before the beginning of at the beginning of the famine to get food from them, and he's reunited with his family, and he gets to see his father before he passes, and he blesses the sons, and it's just kind of a redemption story, but God was with him
even
the
through
whole
all
way.
the stuff. And I think a lot of times we assume that by following God, I'm doing this because I want an easy life. And if you look, through all of that, that was God's will for him to go through all of that so he could provide for his family and his father years down the road.
Right.
But he had to suffer so much to get there, and the entire time God's with him, helping him interpret dreams and you being in the right position to get to the right place to provide for his family in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, and he was faithful to God's will. And I'm sure he struggled. Doesn't talk too much about that, but yeah. So it was good. It was good going back through it, and I think my son learned a lot from it. And
Deal.
just remembering that God is always with you in the hard, good and the bad times.
And the Comfort Inns and in the Islam Harris resorts.
And
That's right.
And the Ritz-Carltons.
And the Ritz-Carltons.
And the Stratosphere.
Yeah.
I stayed there once. It's a horrible hotel.
Oh, really?
Like the Stratosphere Hotel. They have a hotel down at the bottom. I don't know if they still do. I stayed in it like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But
Oh, is that Seattle?
no, that's the in Vegas.
Vegas.
Yeah.
It's like at the end of the strip. It's one of the oldest hotels on the strip. And it's the big Stratosphere Tower where they have the restaurant up top.
Yeah.
We stayed there because it was $50 a night. And that was the cheapest on this trip for a wedding that we had to go to. But
Not good.
no,
Didn't
didn't make the top 3.
None of my Vegas hotels made the top 3, and I've stayed a lot.
Yeah.
Bellagio, Caesars, Luxor, Tropicana.
I stayed at the Rio for a conference. It was not the greatest.
I don't like Vegas to begin with. So
Me
there's really no hotel that's gonna, Of course, I wasn't staying in the suites either.
You were there for SHOT Show?
Oh, I know. I absolutely despise SHOT Show.
Yeah.
This was for the Marine Corps Ball.
Oh, okay. I was there during SHOT Show for air conditioning. I was meeting with some customers.
I was there for an HVAC conference.
Well, what was funny is the other thing that was going on that week was the adult film awards.
Oh, gosh.
So I get in this cab, and the dude's like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, yeah, He said, you here for SHOT? And I'm like, nope. And he's like, oh, you're here for the adult film thing? And I'm like, no. And he's like, well, why are you here? And I said, I'm at an HVAC conference. He's like, man, I love air conditioning.
Oh, that's good.
Yep.
All right.
Take us on out of here, Matt.
We'll see you next week.
That's awesome. Good job. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Thanks for listening to the Hardheaded Podcast. Don't forget to share this podcast with others to help us get the word out.
Also, if you haven't yet, please rate and review the show. This helps our podcast show up in other people's suggested shows that may or may not have listened to us before.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.